Hey guys, Ken Smith. Thanks for tuning in again for another boat review. This boat's going to be my Z521C. Before I get to the review, I want to ask you guys a favor. I had an Instagram account. It got hacked. Never got control of it again, and I've relaunched my Instagram account. I tell you this because a lot of you guys have been really good about supporting the channel. As you know, these are pretty time consuming and a little bit of expense to do this stuff. And I'm sort of going back through with some of my sponsors and looking for some new sponsors. And one of the things they ask you is how many Instagram followers you have. And I have 47. So I'm going to put a link below. If you are an Instagram person, and if you would, please click on my Instagram and help me get back up. I had a couple thousand before, and I'd like to get back to that again. I am posting to Instagram again. If you didn't see the marina, the Twin Dykes Marina sailing by the back Dickey's backyard this week, I posted that to Instagram and some other stuff. So that's my favor I'm asking of you guys if you would. Okay, so Z521C, there is a C boat and an L boat. The C boat is a package boat. Now, the package boat comes with specific electronics on it. You guys know that my boat has Humminbird electronics on it, so I actually asked Ranger to not install the electronics. They shipped them to me. I just sold them and then replaced them with Humminbird electronics in my boat. My boat is a 2018, and wherever possible, I'm going to try to note for you where things have changed in the Rangers. I am going to be critical specifically of the seats in the 521C. And I will tell you, I don't know, I have not been and I can't find a new 521C to sit in. There's none in the dealerships, and none of my guys that I've reached out to have one that I can get to. So I'm going to be critical and I'm going to ding them on the seats, but I don't know if they've changed that in the new boat. Pretty much everything else in a 2020 or a 2021 521C or 520C. My boat before this was a 520C. Is the same, and where it's not, I know it's not, and I'll point that out. I have a split of showing all the different options available in the new boat versus the old boat. Now, one other thing that's going to be a little bit different about this video. I'm going to dub some of the audio on this video. So I know we've had some audio challenges, and the way I set up my, sorry, I got dogs and kids walking around me. The way I set up my GoPro camera, it's really easy not to have the mic plugged all the way in. And it happens on occasion. You've seen me have some audio troubles before, and it happened on some of this. So I'm just going to dub over audio because I listened to and kind of wrote the script of what I said as I filmed this, and I'll just dub it over so it gives you better audio. So now I'm not going to do, so one thing I'm not going to do here, I'm not going to do a bunch of fishing footage and a bunch of in-boat footage because guys, there's 200 plus videos of me fishing out of this boat on YouTube. So you've seen everything I've done, and I have an extremely good sense of this boat, what I like about this boat and what I don't like about this boat. So really the only in-boat footage we're going to look at here is the tippy test, which is the test of how much the boat lists, the measurements, and then the whole shot. So I did a whole shot video with the live wells full, and I'll show you that as well. So let's jump into the review, and then we'll come back at the end of, I'm not sure if this one's going to be one video or two videos, but I'll come back at the end, and we'll do the scoring on the boat, and we'll see what happens here. Let's go to it, guys. All right, guys, let's go through the measurements of the Ranger 521C versus the other two boats we've already looked at. So the boat's 21 feet, 8 inches long, the longest boat we've looked at. The Charger 210 Elite's 20 feet 10 inches. I did make a mistake on the video on that. It's 20 feet 10 inches versus I thought it was over 21. The Puma Hybrid is 20 feet 4 inches. The Ranger is the widest of the group with a 98-inch beam versus 95 on the Charger and 94 on the Puma. The Ranger is also the heaviest boat at 1,925 pounds versus the Elite, the Charger at 1,900 and the Puma at 1,825. So this is by far the biggest boat we've looked at. However, what my real concern with, and I say however, but one of my concerns is fishable space on the front and the back deck. So we're going to measure again like we did in the other two boats, the width carpet to carpet at the front seat hole. Now I used the back seat hole on this boat, which is the one I put my seat in. And the boat is, as you're going to see here, measures at 66 inches wide, carpet to carpet, versus the Charger at 61.5 inches, versus the Puma at 57 inches. So you got 5 inches more width than the Charger, and you've got 9 inches more lift than, more width than what we see in the Puma boat. So the boat is quite a bit wider, and as you've seen in the fishing footage, that does give more space for two guys to be on the front deck. And on the back deck, at the seat hole,
and on the back deck, it is 82 inches wide. I hope that jives with what I said in those videos. I do believe it is, because I had measured it before. So.
Okay, guys, so this is the tippy test, as I've dubbed it, the test of how much a boat lists with you standing on the side rails, basically. And I got to tell you, of everything I've done, this is the one that surprised me the most. So what you're going to see here is the Ranger on the front deck, standing on either side, is about a 1.1 degree list either way, 1.1, 1.2. And that is dead on the same thing as the Puma, which I thought was had a lot more list to it. It doesn't. And the Charger, they're about the same. Now on the back deck, the Ranger's hitting somewhere in the low 2s, which is real similar to the Charger. But and the Puma was a little bit more so here at about 3.6 degrees. But still much less really than what I thought it would be. I was really surprised as I worked through that process that what in my mind felt like a boat that tipped a lot more in the Charger style HUD under the Basscat, there was relatively no difference on the front deck, and only about 1.3, 1.5 degree on the back deck. One other thing I'll note here, so you guys see I'm doing some cutaways on the Ranger, and you see the pricing up there. And again, I addressed this in another video. I'm not going to get real hung up on pricing, because all of these boats that we've reviewed so far are very much premium priced boats. Once you start piling on electronics, 360 imaging, whatever, it's going to get very, very expensive. The one thing I will note here, and guys, I am really, really up in the air about this particular issue. As I read the Ranger's website, the 2021 520Cs and 520Ls come standard equipped with lithium batteries. Now, again, I don't have a dog in this fight. I am real torn about the whole idea. I know two different buddies who put them in their boats, one a Triton and one a Ranger, and neither one of them picked up more than 1 mile an hour of speed. So it made, because of where the weight's distributed in the tail end of the boat. I do know they both took them back out of their boats because their experience with them was a lithium battery doesn't run down, so your trolling motor doesn't get weaker. It simply stops. And the other issue I have concerns with, if you Google lithium and water, there's some pretty frightening videos out there. There have been a number of boats, and again, I'm not picking on lithium battery people, and I'm not picking a side, but there are a number of guys on the Pro Tour who claim that their boats catching on fire was specific to lithium batteries. I don't know that I'm comfortable right now having a lithium battery in my boat. I am real open to you guys' comments on this, your experience with it, but it kind of freaks me out a little bit right now. Kind of like having an oxygen bottle in my boat freaks me out to run an O2 system. So I'll be real curious to see you guys' comments on this, but I'm really on the fence on the whole lithium battery idea right now. One more thing, I've tightened up on the picture here, and you see the net storage in the floor. So what they've done is there's a hole that runs under the front deck where your net handle goes. It's in the way. Now, so you got to give them a positive for the handle's out of the way and the net's not going to blow out of the boat. But I can't tell you how many times I've hung a flip-flop on that net right there. And with my Ego net, which has a big handle on it, it actually is really, really a hard fit to get in and get out of there. So when I'm fishing, I actually have to have the net just laying in the floor. So I don't score positive or negative. I mean, I give them credit for having created a place to put the net, but it's certainly not nearly as cool as the Basscat place. And of course, it's better than Charger, which has no place to put a net. So again, I just wanted to point that out because I don't think I talk about it anywhere else in the video. Guys, I wanted to do the hole shot test, and I was filling the live wells with the pump, but I wanted to fill it up faster. So if you ever get in a bind
and your live well pumps fail, this is a really quick way to fill your live wells. You just throw it in reverse and it'll come in through your overflow. This boat is propped with a 23 pitch 3-blade Fury. It's got a truly great hole shot. I mean, you're going to see it's about a 4-second hole shot. Now I give up top end on this, tournament loaded, and I'm talking live wells full, 2 big guys, everything in it. This boat's a high 60s, very low 70s boat. I can get low 70s with a little tailwind, but it's got a great hole shot. With the 24 pitch, I lose a couple seconds on the hole shot, but I pick up a little bit on the top end. So that's sort of the performance of the 521C. You know, I decided to stick this little bit of fishing footage, even though I said I wasn't going to put any in here. And I do it because, I mean, that's pretty standard of position we would be fishing on the front deck. And you can see, you know, you start taking width away from that. And this is my preference again. You know, I do a lot of team fishing, but when you start taking width away from that front deck, you can see we're both standing right around that, right around the seat hole. Now, I usually don't put my butt seat up front. Actually, I never do unless it's super rough. But, and you put a butt seat up there, of course, it gets even tighter because that thing takes up space. But this is pretty standard position for where we would be fishing. And so you can see I want to have a lot of space up there. I'm not making any comments as to moon pie size there, but I do need some space up there. So, by the way, I stuck this little bit of footage in here, and we got a really good bite just around this corner, so I'm going to leave this in here as well, just for grins. Who doesn't love a good frog bite?
2 pairs of glasses in there, one with 1 temple and one with 2. And I can't see, so I grabbed the one with 1. Yeah. Five-pounder. Big, long fish. Holy smokes. He'll call one on me. I think that'll call. Okay, guys, so it's time to score the big Ranger. And I have thought about this a lot. This is my 4th Ranger. And there's a reason I bought 4 Rangers, right? I mean, I like a Ranger boat. But, well, let's do the walkthrough on the boat, and then let's come back and do sort of the summary right here at the end. All right, so here's my entry step into the Ranger. You go up on the spare tire. So just sort of reviewing the boat. So on the front end, I like where you can stack your units right there. I really dislike where the trim buttons are. They're impossible to get to. As we've talked about, several of these other boat manufacturers are putting them over there on the left. Now you saw I installed my power pole buttons separately myself. It's a very roomy front deck. It does have good rod buckles. Now I've had one of those fail on me, but that's an aftermarket. You see I've got a lockout right there. Onto the back, good live wells, big live wells. I believe they're 31 gallons. I'll put it at the bottom. It does come with an oxygenator system in it. It also has this, which actually pumps air through your boxes to help dry your stuff out. What else do I like about this boat, or what else about this boat? I do not like the console layout. Now I do like that you can get a 12-incher in it, which I guess there's no way really around this without greatly lifting that, but you have to lean forward in your seat to see your graph if you're idling around looking at stuff. You see I opted for a dual console. It's got those oh crap handles right there. And then it's got another one down here, but that one's really difficult to reach. And in order to use those, you have to lean way forward, so they're not comfortable. I will tell you, since my 2015 model, they've changed seats in them, and the seats are not comfortable. You bottom out in the back of the seat, just sitting in them, much less in rough water. I've heard the same issue in the L boats, at least the first year the L boats were out. They've got good tool storage. You've got a place where your ruler goes. Got a huge glove box in the dual console. Got a good center box. I like how solid this is. It's also a place somebody can sit if they need to. That box goes the wrong direction in my opinion. Matter of fact, mine bounced open and broke. I had to get it fixed. Now I put a ton of, actually I put $3,700, I counted it up, of options on this boat, not including the electronics. $1,000 Ranger cover, a transom saver, put a hydraulic jack plate on the boat, hot foot, tilt wheel, the twin trim switches over there so you can trim up and down and lower the jack plate up and down. Actually, it was more than $4,000 because I also put the jack plate digital readout right there. And then I also did this, which I really, really like. So that is replacement flooring in place of carpet. You see they've got a couple of scratches in it, but it's really survived a lot of dog toes well. And what I love about it is, as you're well aware, when that carpet gets wet in the boat, it stays wet for a long time, so you're carrying a lot of extra weight around. Not a problem in this boat. So that was a $300 option that I would have on my next Ranger or any other boat if it's available on another boat.
Okay, I'm not going to get into the weeds on warranties, but I talked about it in the first videos, so I'll talk about it in these videos. And I understand every manufacturer can probably make a case for why they make the best warranty or have the best warranty, and everybody has a story of them or a buddy having a terrible experience with certain boat manufacturer and a great experience with certain boat manufacturers. So as we said in the first two videos, Charger and Basscat both have limited lifetime warranties on their hulls, and you can read on those on your own. Ranger approaches it a little bit differently. If you're the original owner of a Ranger boat, they basically offer you a warranty as long as you own that boat for the hull, and then they offer a 10-year warranty for the second owner of a boat. So again, it's something you should look into. Everything's not covered on any of these boats, and of course there's caveats on all these, so I'll let you dig into that on your own from a warranty standpoint. Okay, so that's part one of our review of the Ranger Z521C. Just so you know, I will be in an L boat later this week as well, and we'll be looking at Phoenixes. The other two boats, if you're new to these series, we've reviewed the Basscat, and we've reviewed a Basscat, the Puma Hybrid, and the Charger 210 Elite. Part two of the Ranger boat will be later this week. I'm going to talk about kind of what started me down this path of looking at other boats, some of my frustrations with my Ranger. And we've already talked about a lot of the stuff I like, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. So stay tuned. Later this week, we'll be back up with the second video in this Ranger review, where we'll grade out the Ranger and we'll compare it to how the other two boats have graded out. So thanks for tuning in. I'll be back to you in just a couple days.